The Knicks postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. The Knicks rain in threes all night in Milwaukee. Jalen Brunson, 22 of his 27 in the first quarter. OG Anunoby, 4 of his last 25 from 3 coming in. Hit 5 of 7 from downtown. And Landry Shamet continued his fine play off the bench. He, too, 5 of 7 from downtown. And the Knicks blow out the Bucks tonight, 127-98. Great to have you with us here from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pidto, along with Hahn and Wally Szczerbiak. So the Knicks coming in uneven play since the All-Star break, but there was nothing uneven about this performance. This was exactly what they needed. 48 minutes of really, really good basketball.
Led by the captain, who got him going with a huge first quarter, really set the tone. The three-point shooting, it really is amazing, Wally, that just knocking down early threes in a game can get a team into rhythm. This is the best rhythm the Knicks have looked in shooting the basketball since the All-Star break.
No question. There was a little more pace to the game. I think with 2 days off, I think the coaching staff really made it a point that said, guys, we can't be holding the ball. We got to get it up the floor quickly. We got to get into our actions quickly. We have to cut harder. We have to set more decisive screens, and we have to be a little bit more confident with what we're doing out there. And Jalen Brunson, like you said, set the tone, 21 threes, 13 in the first half. Anunoby breaks out of his shooting slump. Josh Hart knocks down a couple threes. Everyone got involved. The bench has been great, or was great tonight, and that was a really good sign to see it.
Knicks has a team 21 of 41 from downtown. You guys are talking about the pace. The Knicks averaged 15.5 fast break points per game. They finished the game, Wally, with 23. 18-0. 18 fast break points for the Knicks in the first half, 0 for the Bucks, and that helped pave the way for 13 of 22 shooting from downtown in the first half.
Those fast break points, they help you get into rhythm, too, because you get a couple layups, you kind of get your percentages up, you get the defense a little bit on their heels, and it means you're getting stops. And when you get stops and long rebounds, you have to make an unset defense pay. And that's exactly what the Knicks did. Look at the no hesitation on these shots. I mean, right there, Anunoby just stroking the 3, 5 for 7. Shamet knocked down 4 threes, too, in this one. He's on fire. Excuse me, 5 threes for Shamet. Right. He's been in a great rhythm shooting the basketball also. So when the Knicks have not only, Towns and Brunson that can knock down threes, but you have peripheral players like Anunoby and Shamet making 5. I mean, 5's a big number of threes in a game. For example, like my career high threes in a game was 6 for my 10-year career.
But it was a different game then,
I know,
right?
But still, 5 threes is a good number to have being made by some of your role player three-point shooters.
Especially Anunoby, because he'd been struggling so badly since he's come back from the toe injury.
2 is the magic number for him. For the Knicks, I mean, he'd get 5 for 7, so he made 5. But 2 or more this season, the Knicks are now 22 and 5. So it just shows you how important he is to the offense when he's spreading the floor, and especially when he's knocking down those corner threes. It was great to see him find his rhythm. Shamet has kept his rhythm. Brunson got into it early on. Towns had a double-double with 17 and 13. This was the all-around effort you kind of needed to see. You needed to see the Knicks bounce back the way they did, and now they have a 5-game stretch playing some really tough teams, and they got to get ready for Sunday afternoon against the San Antonio Spurs team that hasn't won. They won 11 straight games.
All right, guys, let us say hello to Monica. Monica McNutt helped call the game on the radio on ESPN New York. Monica, pretty easy tonight. What'd you think?
Yeah, man, that is what the doctor ordered. Jalen Brunson was our post-game interview on the radio, and he said that the pace is one thing that everybody needs to be mindful of, himself included, getting into their stuff quicker, getting the ball up the floor a little bit quicker. But the three-point shooting, this game is certainly a terrific building block to take into Sunday's contest with a very formidable team that deserves to be respected in the San Antonio Spurs. But this was good, guys. And I will say for me, Pat and I were like, started the fourth quarter, like, okay, one thing that we know about this team in its last 16 games has been one of the most efficient defenses in the league, the most efficient going into tonight, I believe. They hold another team under 100 points. That is going to bode well for that number as well. And, of course, putting up 127, can't be mad at that.
All right, Jalen Brunson, the subject of our thrilling moment, brought to you by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on. And we were really interested to see Brunson's approach Monica right off the opening tip. It was like, we're not struggling tonight. I'm going to make sure we get off to a great start. And he had his best first quarter of the year with 22. 22 of his 27 came in the first quarter.
Yeah, and he just is the guy, right? Like, good, bad, or ugly, he is the guy. He's going to shoulder the blame. He's going to shoulder most of the praise. And I thought tonight he just knew that he had to get it going. Now, in tandem, y'all, with him in that first quarter was one Josh Hart, who I thought did a great job of also being very intentional about the pace with which this Knicks team would play. But when Jalen Brunson has it going both from two-point land and three-point land, and, of course, he chips in, what does he have? He had 3 assists as well tonight, but 7 rebounds for him. So that was just a locked-in and example-setting performance from the captain.
Yeah, he loves playing against Milwaukee, coming off 36 and 37 in the first 2 meetings. And I'm with you, Monica. That first quarter was lights out. Yeah, look at the way he's playing against the Bucks. Just loves to see the deer, fear the deer. No fear for Jalen against the deer, that's for sure.
I like Buckshot. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he absolutely lights them up. And that was a good thing for him to get himself into rhythm off the All-Star break and also set the example that the guys need to follow his lead.
It was what you want out of your leader, out of your captain, right? And it's not like he came out shooting. I felt like he gave it about 4 minutes. They were leaving Josh Hart wide open. You could see that was part of the strategy. It wasn't working because he knocked down some early ones. But then when the Bucks weren't really getting after it defensively, they didn't have the right energy against Jalen Brunson. And it's almost like he smelled blood. Like, oh, you're going to play me one-on-one? Like, you're leaving me out here on an island with this guy? And that's when he just started to cook. And once he got rolling, forget it. Like, you know what he's like when he gets hot like that. And that was exactly 100%. The tone setter the Knicks needed.
And, Monica, how about OG Anunoby? We figured it would be a matter of time before he got his three-point shooting back. And tonight, 5 out of 7, his best game by far since his return from the toe injury.
The 9-point run to start the third quarter, to start the second half. Fantastic. I mean, he's got his legs under him, his feet are set, he's feeling good, getting that jump shot up. And you guys, we've talked about how this entire roster, their performance defensively is attached to their overall three-point shooting. I would say OG Anunoby is one of the guys that bucks that trend. But what I do think happens when he can hit threes is that he sees the court better. Because in the 8 games of that 12-game stretch where he was terrific, I thought his dribble penetration had been simplified in a positive way. It was like 1 or 2, 3 dribbles most, but mostly straight lines, very simple. And so I think when he starts hitting shots from the outside as well, then I think he is able to see the floor a little bit more clearly. And we know he has the strength to finish at the rim through contact. Yeah,
24 points on 10 shots. That's how you recalibrate. That's how you get your percentages back in order. Just a phenomenal performance by him. You knew it was going to just get, he was just a little out of rhythm off the break, off the toe injury. Needed a game like this to kind of get his confidence back, and hopefully this carries over, because when Anunoby plays like this, it's a big difference for the Knicks.
And this is what you want to see, right? To build off of the 2 days off, the day to kind of think about it, some of the discussions this team has had about, and Monica, you were there, like just talking about trying to find themselves, their identity, whether or not they know what they are and who they are at this point, learning the system and where they're supposed to be in it, and then just coming off the break, just getting their rhythm back. There was a lot of that talk in this first week. And Monica, now, the 5 games that come up now, the toughest stretch they're going to have to finish the season, it really is going to set the tone. The Cavs lost tonight. They've opened up 2 games on them now to keep them in the rear view, which is important after losing to them. But these next 5 games are going to tell us a lot about this team.
All right, Monica, have a great trip home.
Update. Yeah, oh my God. I cannot wait to get home. See you guys soon.
All right, travel safely. We'll see you next week.
Sounds good.
All right, Mike Brown's Knicks hit the 60-game mark, fellas. 60 games in, Knicks are 38-22. We hear from the Knicks coach and have the guys at the Wally Wall coming up.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer today.
Big win for the Knicks in Milwaukee, blowing out the Bucks 127-98. Over now to the Wally Wall with Alan Wally, guys.
Thank you, Bill. Jalen Brunson really set the tone in this game with a great first quarter, 22 points. He missed 1 shot. He was 9 of 10, 3 of 3 from downtown. And we're going to show you one of the threes where he really, like I said, just got hot early.
Yeah, and it was defense leading to easy buckets. And this is just carelessness by Miles Turner. I don't know what he's doing. Throws it right to Josh Hart. Josh Hart's off to the races here. Does a good job. Now, keep an eye when this ball swings. Look at Brunson right here. Brunson's over here in the corner. Shamet's getting the ball over to him, whereas Josh Hart was playing point guard. So Brunson had the luxury of being the wing shooter. And he runs to the corner. This is what I mean. When Turnovers happen. This is fast break points with a defense that's not matched up. Turner doesn't want to go out to the corner, and here A.J. Green can't get out to the corner, and there Brunson gets a wide open shot and knocks down that three. That's just really good job by Josh Hart initiating the offense. Extra pass to Jalen Brunson. Know who's the hot player, and he continued to knock down those part of the 22 points in that first quarter.
That's part of the idea this season with Brunson, too, to get him off the ball, let him 100%. Get to spots where he can catch and shoot and get into some rhythm, and that's what Josh Hart did there. Now we have some passing from Karl-Anthony Towns, who loves to pass out of the post. And in the second quarter, it was Landry Shamet that took over from downtown. He was 3 of 4.
Yeah, and Shamet hit 5 threes in this game, a quiet 5 threes. Here's the pick and roll play between Alvarado and Towns that's really starting to gain some steam and work here. Alvarado frees it there, gets it to Towns. When Towns gets it, he spins baseline over to the corner here. The defense has to come over to converge and keep an eye on Landry Shamet up here in the corner, because Towns uses his length to find him. This is another outstanding pass. Look at Towns. Jumps off one leg, kicks it all the way across because he is a high release and a high point of release. I like the way Bridges is here, diving to the basket, occupying a defender, and then Towns gets it over the outstretched hand to Porter, right on target. That's not an easy pass to make, and put it right on target where Shamet doesn't have to adjust to get into his shooting rhythm, and then he gets the friendly little roll there, part of his 5 threes. That's an outstanding pass by Karl-Anthony Towns. He has wowed us with some beauties this season with some of the dimes he's dropped.
You wonder how he sees it, but he certainly does find it. 15 points for Shamet off the bench. Well, a much better showing for the Knicks offense in this game. Head coach Mike Brown now has these thoughts for the post game presented by Chase.
Good win by our guys. I mean, both sides of the ball. We did a really good job. I thought in the first half, on our closeouts, we were biting on their shot fakes a little too much, and we were sending them to the free throw line. I thought in the second half we did a better job of staying down in their shot fakes. I think they had 14 free throws at the halftime. They ended up with 8 in the second half, 8 more. So great job making that correction at half. Speaking defensively, OG was our defensive player of the game. Our defense was really good, and it's been pretty good, like I said, these last handful of games. Milwaukee's a really good scoring team, and, they scored 41 points in the second half. Now, obviously, they missed some shots, but our defense was pretty good, too. To hold a team to 18 points in the paint for a game, 4 offensive rebounds when they shot 43%, and 0 second chance points. It was a heck of a job by our group. Offensively, we talked about playing fast. We did a good job with that, especially in the first half. The way we sprayed the basketball, we had 33 assists, and this is how we've played offensively throughout most of the year. And so for us to be able to space the floor correctly and make quick decisions with the basketball while touching the paint and playing off of 2 feet was huge. And we got a lot of mileage just from playing the game the right way. So I applaud our guys for playing the way they did on both sides of the ball tonight.
For OG, as you mentioned, defensively he was awesome.
Yeah.
For him to even just see the shots go down, how important can that be for a guy who's just in a little bit of a funk, just to have just a feel-good game to turn the course?
No, it's big. And I said this before his toe injury. He was playing at an extremely high level. This is how he was playing to a certain degree, And so to see that, to feel it, all that other stuff was big.
You talked yesterday about the Jeremy and Mo thing. Today you went with Mo. Is it a decision, or is it just trying different things different days?
Yeah, and like I said, those guys are like 9th and 10th guy, 10th and 9th guy, however you want to call it. And, I'll make the call as we go along, but everybody has to make sure that they keep themselves ready.
You always talk about Jalen's leadership, sometimes by example. Just that first quarter he had, how much does that set the tone? I know defensively there were some miscues, but just his ability just to be aggressive, him and Josh as well, shooting the 3 even if they weren't going in, they were playing off, and just the way that they set the tone with the game and their pace and scoring.
No, Jalen did a great job. Our team did, you know, and Jalen is one of those guys. But you know, our floor has to be spaced the right way. Guys have to set screens. This was probably one of our better screen setting games, and so we have to keep emphasizing it while doing it. But our physicality offensively was there because we set screens the right way, and then we played fast. And so it takes all of us to do that. And when we do it, and you have one of those guys, you know, he's going to be able to break loose. And that was good to see tonight.
This next 5-game stretch has got to be, schedule-wise, opponent-wise, the toughest of the season. The Spurs, the Thunder, the Nuggets, the Lakers.
You know the schedule better than me. Don't we go
in order.
We go to Toronto someplace, right?
Toronto's next.
We go to Toronto.
No, San Antonio, then San Antonio, Toronto.
Okay.
KC,
Yeah.
Denver, Lakers.
Yeah, that's too many games for me to think about.
All right, I was going to ask,
But
what do you think of this next stretch?
yeah, I just take it one game at a time. I know we got San Antonio at 1 o'clock on Sunday, and you know, just trying to figure out how we're going to prepare to play them.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Welcome back, everyone. The Knicks beat Milwaukee 127-98, 17-13 for Cat. Here he is after the game with Pat O'Keefe.
You guys hit 21 threes tonight, 51% from downtown, 33 assists. What was working so well offensively?
Just, you know, we did a good job of protecting the paint and getting some turnovers and minimizing the amount of possessions they had. So it's a, you know, good bounce back game for us, and a good job by us of, you know, getting back on track.
You guys have done a good job this year following losses with good performances and specifically good shooting performances. How important is that?
I mean, it's important. It's important to battle through adversity, and you know, when you're in a playoff setting, you may lose one, you got to get the next one, and we're doing a good job of showing that we can bounce back quick. So it's a good sign for us, but you know, about consistency is everything. So as long as we could keep building off this momentum, keep building off this mindset, you know, we'll be the best team we could be when it comes to late April.
When this was still a game, 77 points in the first half, a lot of points off of turnovers. You guys seem to play with a lot of pace. How much did that help?
It helps, you know. When game one, when we played against them, we struggled with pace. Game two, we got good pace. So, you know, we understood that if we could get our pace, it would help us a lot in the game, it help us win the game, and we did a good job of that.
Thanks, Kat.
Back now from the corner three, presented by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. Interesting, guys. Jalen Brunson had 22 points in the first quarter. Cat had 12 points in the second quarter, Wally. And OG Anunoby had 13 points in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Interesting. They had a lot of balance, but not necessarily in different sequences in the game.
That's how it happens. You know, guys can take over a quarter. They can score points in bunches. And the Knicks have the luxury where they have a lot of guys that can take over and dominate the offense for a period of time. So, you know, I love the way Jalen had the 22, and then he kind of started to, you know, kind of defer to his teammates, look around and make sure other guys were getting their touches, getting their shots, getting their confidence. That's what a point guard does. That was just a really good overall team effort where everyone got involved and everyone really played at a high level.
This is what you want to see also, right? A deep team, a team like this that has the amount of players on it that can score 20 on a given night, it doesn't always have to be one guy. Right. And I think that's what you saw. A tone setter at the beginning. You know Doc's going to say, okay, let's turn the water off with Brunson. Let's not let him beat us. Send two guys at him. You have Cat, who draws a lot of attention. OG can make those open corner threes. He got into rhythm. Josh Hart had moments. And then Shamet off the bench. You know, you need a guy off the bench who's going to come in flamethrower, and that's what he's been. So that's what a deep team is supposed to look like. And on a night where everybody's clicking, it can look as special as that.
Shamet's averaging about 14 per game off the bench over his last 6.
He's just been all threes.
I mean, it's not just like, you know, 8, 9, a couple threes here and there. It's legitimate starters type. 14 off the bench is starter type numbers coming off the bench.
5 more threes tonight for Landry Shamet, and as we've talked about, Knicks went 21 of 41 from downtown. They blow out Milwaukee. Cat with the 17 points and the 13 rebounds. Knicks win at 127-98.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer today.
Alan, 8 games over the next 2 weeks. We call this a gauntlet. Look
This
at
is a gauntlet, and it's a lot of road games as well. But look at this coming week. 3 teams top in the West. You're facing all 3 of the 3 best teams in the West.
And then you're going to Denver Friday. You got a back-to-back against the teams from L.A., then at Utah, then at the Pacers. Wow, 8 games over the next couple of weeks. Stay with us. Bar's open. Last call coming up from the corner 3 after this. Knicks Spurs game this weekend on Sundays on national TV. So our next Knicks game here on MSG at the Raptors Tuesday night. Pre-game at 7, game at 7:30. You can also stream our coverage on the Gotham Sports App. Want more than just a post-game show? Link your eligible TV subscription to stream Knicks games free or subscribe today in the Gotham Sports App. Just go to gothamsports.tv to learn more.